Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to a new episode of Kevysie Fate Podcast, where we talk about mental health and promote ourselves and just have a good old jolly blast. My name is Kevin Davis, and I am your host. And today, I welcome my good friend Dave. I keep Schweitzer. Jesus Christ! I'm so sorry. I do not want to butcher your name, so I was like, I just let him say his last name because I suck at names. I just call him DS Comics. What? How you doing, brother?
I am doing great. How have you been? It's been maybe around a month since I think we last spoke.
I don't know. Time has flown. It might have been 2 weeks. I really don't know.
You are right. It could have been 2 weeks, it could have been 2 months, but yeah,
Yeah,
I've just been
yeah,
busy getting to the end
yeah.
of the year right now.
Oh yeah. And as you can see, I have my Santa hat on. It's December. It's Christmas time. First, I want to say how's your holidays going so far?
They're good. My holidays are small. I don't have a big family, so it's not the chaos that other people experience. Um, So that's not too bad. I'm sorry. Did you hear that ding? I had somebody texted me. It comes through my computer, and I just want to make sure it's not dinging on your end. Did you hear
You're
that
good.
ding a minute ago?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I can hear it too, but it's good.
It should be closed. Oh, hold on. I know what I can do probably. While I keep talking about this. So my holidays were good. Christmas was nice. It was me, my girlfriend, my mom, and her parents, and nice and low key at my house. And then for um, Christmas, I'll see both of those groups of people again, but a little more separately. So yeah, I've done most of the Christmas shopping already, and
Oh,
so
nice.
yeah. How about for yourself?
Man, mine's been pretty good. Given ate a lot of food as always.
Yep,
I'm
that's
I
good.
am definitely I am always a foodie. I love food. Anything that's edible, I would try it because I just love eating food.
Yeah,
And of course, watch my movies, especially horror movies like Thanksgiving. I'm like, horror is year round for me.
that's good. Now there's like a horror movie called Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah, that's the movie I was talking about. Yeah, that came out 2 years ago. Yeah, Thanksgiving.
Are there any other good Thanksgiving themed horror movies that you would recommend? I don't know if it's a popular holiday for like obviously Halloween stuff like that's easy.
Right.
But I didn't know if I love finding themed stuff for like each holiday, so I didn't know.
Yeah, the only one I can think of is Thanksgiving off the top of my head from 2 years ago.
Yeah. Well,
Because I mean,
that's still something.
I don't really see many Thanksgiving themed horror movies as much compared to Halloween and like Christmas and stuff.
I feel like Thanksgiving movies in general are a little more scarce. I mean, Halloween's so broad because it just needs to be scary,
True.
and you feel like it's a Halloween movie. But even if you focused
Yeah.
in on movies about Halloween, there's so many, even just named Halloween. Christmas
Yeah.
has so many things as well. But yeah, Thanksgiving kind of gets lost there.
Yeah, because I know I watched Krampus um for Christmas. Each version of Krampus with then the movie Silent Night.
Oh
Um
yeah, with David Harbour.
yeah,
I haven't
yeah.
seen that one yet. I want to
You
though.
haven't seen, dude, that movie is freaking hilarious. It's so freaking good. I recommend that movie. It's not horror, but it's action packed. It's an
Okay.
action packed movie, but it's
Yeah.
so freaking good. David Harper is such an underrated actor. The dude is freaking fantastic.
Yeah, he can be really, really good sometimes. I
Oh
haven't
yeah.
seen a ton of his stuff, but I obviously think he's great in like Stranger Things, and he's great. Oh, Hide Alerts. I hope to God that does it. Okay, sorry, it didn't do it. Oh my God. Oh my God. I am so sorry about this. I don't know how to. Oh my God, and it's just not stopping now. What? What the hell? What? Like, please, things stop. I can't. Oh my God, I don't know what to do about this. Oh, hold on, options, show more. I'm so embarrassed by this.
You're good, man. It happens.
I don't know. I don't know how to get rid of that. Okay, I guess I'll keep trying. And every time I say I don't know how to get rid of it, it comes back. Oh my God. Alerts. Where is just like mute? There's got to be, okay, mute. What? That doesn't come up under help? This is what a lot of my life feels like curb your enthusiasm of me being like, I'm sorry, I'm making all this extra noise. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to silence
Understandable.
it.
Understandable. Completely understandable.
Hide alerts specifically for this. Maybe that did it. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, the holidays. They're a real pain sometimes.
Yeah, it happens. The holiday season does get busy. Um, but tell us a bit about yourself, man. Let us know what you do, what made you get into your passion. What's about you?
Cool. Yeah. So I do a couple of things, and I guess to start is about almost 2 years ago, I released a book called March of the Mystics. It's a fantasy adventure book. It starts with a treasure hunt. It ends in war. After a group of magical mystics rains from the sky, Galagota's life will never be the same. It's great for kids. It's great for adults. There's soft cover, hardcover, ebook. You can find that out there. And this year, we've released a prequel comic book, a graphic novel called Treasure of the Mystic Hearts, featuring Galagota and a woman he has feelings for, Isra. They go on an adventure to steal the legendary Crackle Daggers, weapon powerful enough to cleave the land in two. But there is a fascist cult also after it, and there are feral lagoon creatures around every turn. So they're kind of fun Indiana Jones type adventures. There's magic, monsters, humor, and heart. And the graphic novel itself, we're just about to have the print come out of everything. And that you can find more information about on like Kickstarter. So those are my two main things. I also act, and I've made a movie this year, which we finished filming this upcoming Saturday. Um, but who knows with movies if I don't know that industry's so crazy.
Yeah,
But
every
hopefully
industry
there
is
we go.
crazy. Yeah,
Yeah, so that's kind of my thing, writer more than probably anything, but dabbling in directing and acting as well. But yeah, that's kind of my jam.
what made you get into to acting?
Um,
Because acting, I know acting's a whole different beast than writing comics and stuff.
I think it is when I was a kid. Like I was 6 when Jurassic Park came out, and when I saw that, I was like, I want to make movies. And then I think pretty much it was like, when you're in elementary school, you don't take any class that pertains to that type of stuff. But like in fourth grade, I think there was a school play, and for me, that was like, hey, that's the closest thing I can get to of in that field. So I mean, I didn't get a big part or anything. I think I was like an extra with one line. And then I don't, I just always kind of enjoyed it. And I think part of my logic for film stuff is that, okay, well, I need to learn how to write. And then if I can act also, if I can act the part, and then I'm also directing it, I can take care of a few roles. And we don't have to worry about finding a writer and all of that. And as I got older, there's a couple of filmmakers that I really like that do all of those and are pretty big influences on me. So I think it just kept kind of growing in that way. And I think it's fun. I don't think that I am a phenomenal actor or have a huge stretch. I'm usually just playing a glorified jerk version of myself, it seems. But, yeah. So I think that's just kind of it, I guess.
Like you say, so speak of influences, who is like your influences on you?
Um, Me as a person or like me creatively?
Either both. You do both.
Um,
Like that gets you into the zone. Like
Gets me into the
but
zone. Well,
yeah.
when I'm doing the Mystic and Galagoda stories, very influenced by George Lucas. Obviously, he's a part of Indiana Jones. I feel there's a lot of Star Wars influence there, even though it's not in outer space or anything like that.
So he
But
did create both, so I can see
yeah,
that. No, wait,
and
he didn't create Indiana Jones. That was Steven Spielberg. I bet.
no,
Sorry, no.
he did create it, and he didn't want to
Wait,
direct it.
oh,
So he said to
oh, okay.
Spielberg, because Spielberg wanted to do a James Bond movie, and Lucas was like, "You guys can
Uh,
do better than that." It's just a
okay,
very
so he did create both. No wonder if they felt
yeah,
so similar. Okay, they did.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm with Harrison Ford and everything. So,
Okay,
that's a very big influence in that world. But I always try to find something else, like in the comic, because I think, he took Flash Gordon, Kurosawa movies, World War II, and by combining those, he made this really interesting world. So for my comic book, for instance, I'd say it's a lot like Indiana Jones, but also I don't know if you've ever seen any of the Before trilogy with Ethan Hunt and Julie Delpy, by Richard Linklater. They've made like three of them, and they made each one 10 years or so apart. And the first one is like they meet on a train and they just walk around Paris before sunrise and just talk the whole time. There's no action, it's just talking. It's, very much the opposite of kind of Star Wars and Indiana Jones. But for me, that is part of like the DNA, I guess, for like the comic book. Is like, okay, well, we have Star Wars, but we also have something a little more dramatic and serious. And then I put in lagoon creatures, like creatures from the Black Lagoon, because I think that the Universal monster vibe is like a really cool one.
heck
It would
yes,
mix really
love
well.
that. Freaking love that.
Yeah. So that's kind of the influences there. With movies, it's a lot different though. As much as I love action adventure stuff, the reason I did those as books and comics is because the budget wouldn't allow me to make it. So, like the movie
Gotcha.
that I made this year, it took place in New York City, and it's about this couple that's at the end of a relationship, and they're waiting for the other person to end it, so they don't look like the bad guy. And it's kind of about that end of a relationship. And I really like Ingmar Bergman. Not his personal life, but I do like Woody Allen's, good movies and stuff.
Gotcha.
And
Gotcha.
once again, it's a wildly different tone than a Steven Spielberg, George Lucas thing. But it's easy enough to, it's nice because it stretches both creative wings. And you can write something fun and adventurous, but then also something maybe a little more sentimental and introspective and stuff. So I like that element of those two sides really.
Dude, that's freaking amazing. Wow. Man, when we were talking about influences, my influence, like when I'm writing stuff, I get so many different influences because it depends on which story I'm writing. Because I
Yeah.
write from fantasy to horror. I'm challenging myself in comedy, drama, even romance. Like horror side, I got John Carpenter with like The Thing, Halloween.
Oh yeah. Halloween's a perfect movie.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
There are few perfect movies, and it is one of them. It really
oh
is.
yeah, oh yeah. And I got to go with my boy Sam Raimi with The Evil Dead.
Oh, I love
Uh,
Sam Raimi. I was thinking this about Sam Raimi. He's, I think, one of the few directors who helmed two different trilogies that aren't of like the same at all, and was
at
very
all.
successful with both of them.
Oh
Um,
yeah, oh yeah,
like because I don't like I can't really think of many people like it's like Peter Jackson's done Lord of the Rings. Lucas did
oh yeah.
Star Wars. Some of these guys do just like Avengers or whatever, but it's like, yeah, they don't have like that Evil Dead side as well, which is just
At all. No,
I
no,
love
they
them.
don't. It's freaking amazing. And then like influence like Zack Snyder. With I love his visual takes.
He's
How he
beautiful.
dude his visual takes be so freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Um, then with like well my like and then like fantasy is George Lucas. Like George Lucas, Steven Spielberg. Because I originally started looking into George Lucas movie, Willow.
But yeah. Yeah.
Uh, yeah. Since I heard that he brought that back as a show on Disney Plus, or Disney brought it back as a show. I don't know. I don't know if
Yeah, a
he did it
couple
or
years
what.
back. I never watched that show, but I was real late to the movie. I only saw the movie a couple of years before the show came out. So I kind of missed.
Yeah, and the show got canceled after like one season. It's
Yeah,
like I need to go check out the movies first before I attempt to watch the one season they had today able to do.
yeah.
Even J.K. Rowling with Harry Potter was an influence on me because I love the story of a boy facing his dark side and like finding himself, and he's not alone. He has friends that's going on an adventure with him. I
They
really
were
love
also so well written.
it.
Like
Yes, they
easy to
were.
understand. That's a problem with a lot of
Yes,
fantasy. And like she was able
yeah,
to really like break it down and it wasn't too complicated and
exactly. That's literally how I like to write my stories. Like I want my stories to be linear and not like over the top and like not complicated. That's actually really funny because I let somebody review one of my comics called Skin Shifter. I'm currently rebooting that into a graphic novel, but I let someone read and review it like the first issue of the original version. She told me that how she loves my writing is not complicated and it's not I'm not using fancy words like a lot of people do.
yeah.
And I flat out said when I'm writing, I just like to write what's real. I like to write just be real and just be relatable without having to use some fancy words that no one can understand like what they mean.
And fantasy is
Um,
tricky because like I think sometimes people are like, I need to give everything a new word. And you're like,
yeah,
what is
y-
Zarbark? And they're like, it's
yeah,
coffee. And you're like, you should just have it as coffee. You know,
yeah. I was
something
like,
like that. It can be very complicated
I
sometimes.
was like, I think if people think of fantasy, I think they think they have to make up all these weird freaking words, and
Yeah,
just I'm like, nope, that would turn the audience off very quickly if you come up with these
yeah.
weird words all the time.
Or at least if
I'm
you
like, I'm
really
not
want
Shakespeare.
yeah. And I also think if you really want to do something like that, like you need to not do that too soon. You need to like wait and like maybe build a fan base,
Yeah,
get some better understanding yourself down of whatever medium and stuff. And that's I think if you want to be like super complicated, which I wouldn't
yeah,
recommend, but if hey, that's what you
yeah.
want, I'd be like, well, just get a
That's up
couple
to
of
you.
yeah.
It's like the only thing that I'll actually like change and make up is like the city names or like the fictional world names. That's really the only thing I would like have a fancy
Yeah.
name for when I'm writing my stories. And then on the comedy side, I'm influenced by the Wayans Brothers, Scary Movie 1 and 2, the Wayans Brothers show, the White Chicks. um, Big influence of Adam Sandler with Grown Ups. Waterboy, Click, Jack and Jill. Um, it's so many other great movies Adam Sandler does.
Do you
And
like Saturday Night Live?
I barely watched that.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
I feel like with
I
those
barely,
people you just mentioned, they would be more up your alley because it's it's
yeah,
silly.
I watched episodes of people I care to see. I'll say that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah, like the people I care to see on there, I watch. Yes.
or just the highlights. Yeah, that makes sense too.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, if it's like if Adam Sandler's on there, I'll watch it. If Michael B. Jordan's on there, I'll watch it. Anybody that's like I care to see, like I'm a big fan of, I'll either watch the whole show or watch the highlight reels that pops up on my social.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, like yeah, it's I tell people this when I got into writing because it's literally my therapy, and I get to just be myself and just explore my imagination. And I hated writing with a passion. Growing up, I freaking hated it. Especially writing papers in school. It was a nightmare. But my mother is a writer. She showed me poetry that she wrote years ago that she wrote about me and my sister when she had us. That got me into poetry, like trying to um, write my own poetry, see what I can do with it. And she let me read her murder mystery book that was so freaking out. That was so freaking good. That got me into horror. and wanted to write my own horror stories, especially murder mysteries, because I'm a big fan of Scream. That's another influence of me. I'm a big
Oh
fan of
yeah,
Stephen King with It, Carrie, The Dark Tower, Christine, even Cujo.
yeah.
And
I've
I'm
read
a
a
big.
couple of his books, and they're excellent.
I mean, I haven't read any of his books. I saw the movie versions.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I haven't read any of his books, but some at some point I'm planning to read the books. Because I would love to see his deep thought, Stephen King, how he fleshes out these stories.
Yeah. Salem's Lot is one I'd highly recommend.
Salem's Lot, I love the movie too.
Yeah, the
I
book
haven't read the
is
book.
phenomenal.
Man, it looks really good. I see how thick his books be. I'm like, Jesus. I know there's a lot of information they could not put in the movies. But that's why I was like, that's why I also want to like read his books, see how he flesh out his universe, especially knowing they're all interconnected.
Oh yeah.
And that's how I kind of like started my universe. I want to make my universe interconnected in comics. But it's kind of like Stephen King. You don't have to read one book to read the other one to understand it, because each one is still standalone, but they are interconnected. Um, it's like, yeah, because even it's like, from go from science fiction to horror to action to drama to fantasy, they're all interconnected. I know it sounds weird, but yeah.
Can I ask, what is your history with like putting comics out? Like not as much as the background, but like, are they just digital? Are they print? How long have you been doing it and stuff like that? I don't think I'm that familiar with it, and I'd like to check it out.
I officially started doing comics 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I released at least my first comic in 2024 called Arcfire. It's on print. It's actually on print. I still got some copies left in my drawer right here, right next to me. Issue 2 just came out. I still finish up some pages so I can get that one to print.
Yeah.
My next comic is called Halloween. That's a clown story coming out in February of 2026. But they're all. I'm a physical media person, so they're all physical media. But I do have digital copies. Those who wants to read digital, that's completely fine. Especially you can't afford like the physicals, because physical does it does take a while.
It is so
uh,
nice that there's the digital cheap option because
yeah,
like for my book March of the Mystics, like the hardcover is like $40 and that's just the going price
yeah,
for a hardcover nowadays.
yeah,
And the soft cover is 20, but I priced the ebook at $1 because I was like, you know what? If somebody really wants to read this, I want to make sure they can get it because like what's $1? And
yeah.
it's like, so at least there's that. And then, like, yeah, if you're a big fan and you were like, oh my God, I loved this, then they can get the print version. But that's cool. Now, do you write it and draw it?
No, I am the writer. I have
Okay.
art. Yeah, I have an artist that draws my stuff. I used to draw when I was a kid, but writing became more of my strong suit. Um, One, because I didn't want to have to study how to write to draw panels and stuff. Plus, as a kid, I didn't even know anything about comics at all. But I just like draw like random like guitars, cars, shapes that's turned into a random figure. I just come out off the top of my head. Writing just became more my passion than drawing, because like it became my therapy. It's like I'm not trying to explain it. With just writing out my thoughts, getting it out, it just flows out better for me than drawing it.
Yeah.
And having an artist who's also my best friend now, and how they draw it out, it just wow, it just comes out even more immaculate. And I was like, I could not do that for the life of me.
Yeah, I
Um,
am not an artist in any way, shape, or
yeah,
form. And I'm amazed with the two guys I work with, Rena and Shadi, Guillermo Merdes. I mean, they're just amazing. And
yeah,
and they're quite different, but like, yeah, I don't know how they do it. I hope they read the script and they're like, I don't know how he does it, but I feel like if they can do that, they could do what I do. So,
Oh yeah. Well, one of my scripts for my zombie saga, my artist read the script and he texted me. He said, "Dude, what the hell?" And he said after he said when he read the full issue one script, he said he feel the emotion, he feels for the characters,
it's
and he's
awesome.
like he's terrified for the characters and seeing this. And he's like he feels the stakes in the story.
Yeah,
And he's like I'm so worried about the characters when we're about to draw this. And his partner, who is the colorist slash letterer, messaged me saying, he said, "Dude, are you publishing this when we finish this?" I was like, "Yeah, I have my own publishing company. I'm going to publish it myself." And he was like, "Dude, just from the script writing and the art we're doing, it's like the best thing he's ever read."
that's awesome.
And he said that it's even better than like the mainstream, like Walking Dead. He felt like my zombie story was better than The Walking Dead
Great.
or any comic in mainstream. I'm just like, what?
Will you try to pitch it to, a publisher just in case, Image is like, yeah, we'll go for this or Dark Horse or whatever, or will you just do it on your
I
own?
don't even.
And
I
comes
just
to
do
you.
my own. I do my own thing. I don't really care to pitch it to any other publisher. I'm going to
Nice.
be honest with you, because one, I guess I'm a control freak in a way. Because I don't trust people.
That makes sense.
So I'm just like, and I just like doing my own. I just publish it myself, and just it just feels really good that I can just build my own IP and just build my own brand and not go through anybody else.
Yeah.
And just being independent, it just is freedom for me. And like it's freedom for all of us. And it's like, am I, it's awesome seeing other people get like publishing deals, like pitching to pitching to people pitching to publishers and getting their deals. Like that's a beautiful thing. I was like, congrats to you guys, like for real. But just for me, I just like publishing my own stuff, and also I'm building to be able to publish to other people too. So and I actually published two people so far for their novels. Not comics, but novels, like the actual novel, not comics yet. And I have a third person about to publish their novel, and it's actually truly humbling that they trust me and come to me to publish their stuff. And my friend Dennis Knight, he actually came to me he asked me if I would publish his comic called Blood and Bones. And he told me tell him like what's the story about? Do you have some artwork I can see? Like the typical thing as a publisher, I'm like, well, I want to see.
Yeah.
And he showed me, and he said, yeah, he asked me, do I think that this will work in like my brand universe or in like under my brand? And I looked at it, I'm just like, yeah. It's like hell yeah. And he told me how that he's been working on this for years, I believe, and I think he got like declined multiple times from people. And I'm just like, dude, I'm like, why? This looks freaking beautiful. Like
Yeah.
I don't understand why they would decline something like this. It's freaking beautiful.
I we pitched our graphic novel, which I couldn't believe this, where it was supposed to be 5 issues, 22 pages each. All 5 issues were done, completely
Wow.
drawn, colored, lettered. And we put that in the pitch and never heard back from anyone.
Ugh.
And I mean, I think you've probably seen some of the art from Renan for the, comic book and everything. Like it's not amateur hour. Like they were like, "Hey, we don't think the writing is up to snuff." I'd be like, "It can be rewritten and relettered." You know what I mean? Like just tell me what you think needs changing. And I just couldn't. And I talked to some people, like the guy who did our logo and stuff. He was like, "Oh, you should have no problem. Someone's gonna pick this up." And I was like, "What do you mean nobody picked it up?" It's like, I don't know if I'm just that bad with the pitch, But like, yeah, it's just it's such a wild industry that we came with like this fully done thing. And it wasn't even like, well, we don't know if we want to publish it, but we'll take a meeting and we'll talk to you and see if you're a crazy person or whatever. Like it was just
Yeah.
radio silence.
And that part I really don't get, like the disrespect when you can't even respond back. Like, come on, that's to me that's unprofessional.
It's so funny because they
Uh,
all say we'll only reach out if we want to work with you. And it's like in this day and age, you can't send an automatic email that just says, hey, we read your submission. We thank you for it, but we're going to look elsewhere. Just to give some closure. Because,
yeah,
they'll say,
it's that
like,
simple.
it could take 8 to 10 weeks for us to get back to you. Well, okay. But then 3 months later, you're like, wait, hold on. It's probably been 8 to 10 weeks. They probably didn't want it, I guess. But how hard would it have been to just click on, in this day and age, you're going to tell me in
Mhm.
2025, we can't even send the courtesy email to be like, hey, good luck, but it's not for us. Like, I don't need it personalized. I don't need them to be like, what I think you did well was this, that, and the other thing, but you need to, like, nobody needs that.
No, not at all. And and just with that, and like I know that kind of that gets frustrating. That can get really frustrating. Um, and like this industry is crazy already, and that can be mentally draining. And I really want to ask this, since this is a mental health podcast, like how does that get to you mentally, or like does it get to you mentally, especially when people don't reply back to you, like out of respect they don't reply to you, and like how do you take that? And
I
how,
think, like, I'm sorry, what were you saying there at the end?
so how do you take that? Because that is mentally draining and disrespectful. How they just leave you just hanging. Like how does that affect you if it does?
There are moments of frustration when you like stop and think about it. It's hard just because it's not like one company, it was like four or five of them, whatever we applied to. It's like, well, this is clearly like a symptom of like the industry or whatever. Like it's not a personal thing, but it's still just, you get mad. I think everybody gets mad about the way the world works. And just like these small little things people could do to just make it better, even without making it better. Like at least giving me the peace of mind of being like, oh, okay, well, they didn't want it, and at least I know. I think that I try to focus on that it's great that we live in an age where we can self-publish this stuff. I've made this movie, and if God forbid, absolutely nobody wanted it, like I could still put it on like a website myself or YouTube, and maybe I won't recoup my money. Maybe I'll only make $35 off of 75-cent rental or something.
Yeah.
But at least it can be there, and I think that I'm kind of like paraphrasing, I guess, or I've made it up entirely, but I don't think I have. There's like some quote from like David Lynch, the filmmaker, who his movies don't always resonate with me, but I
Mhm.
love him and I love hearing him talk about creativity. And he says something like the joy is in creating, and you just have to enjoy that moment and be focused on creating the best thing you can.
Mhm.
And whatever happens afterwards, who knows? Like, you can't let that affect you. You have to be able to at least be like, I enjoyed my time doing that. I feel like it was a worthwhile endeavor, and it exists now. Like, it's out there and it exists at least. So, like with the comic book, instead of 5 issues, we just packaged it as a graphic novel just so we could do one Kickstarter for it. And, well, once we send it to print and we have it in hand, in a couple weeks or whatever, it'll be one of these things that's like, it exists now. It's there. It would have existed one form or another. It exists a little bit differently now. And I I don't think it's something I harbor the resentment for. Also, I'm like always telling myself, like, just because it didn't hit big today, doesn't mean like a year from now it won't be like, oh my gosh, this thing suddenly like I made a TikTok that I made a total fool out of myself, but people decided they were going to check out that book. And now it's
Yeah,
so it's always an evergreen endeavor of sorts with that creative field, but it is also like it is frustrating. I get frustrated. I just try not to focus on that because it can still get out there.
yeah. That's kind of how uh, I released my first comic, Arc Fighter, last year. That was my first campaign. I didn't get as much sales um on it because I'm a newbie, so but I still got some sales, which was
Yeah.
still freaking beautiful. And then this year, when I did my first Kickstarter, I brought out issue two Arcfire, which well, and I re-released Arcfire one for those for new people who may want to get both issues. And I got more sales for issue one, and plus they issue two, and I also added my magazine on the Kickstarter. Somebody bought all four, right? Issue one, issue two, and my two issues of my magazine. And I was like, see, I was like, and just from that, I'm like, things take time to build. Like
Yeah.
even the small moments, you should celebrate it because it's a small victory. It might not, but as you I've always been taught consistency is the key. As soon as you consistent, it's gonna get bigger. It's gonna get better. You
Yeah.
just but also you have to take care of yourself, especially your mental, because you need energy to get the stuff out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Um,
and that's where I kind of like I've almost been burnt out quite a few times
yeah.
because sometimes I forget to sleep and sometimes I forgot to eat. And I've been up like I'll be like up like 5 o'clock in the morning just doing stuff, and I'll go to sleep like 6 o'clock, and then wake up like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and so that kind of messed up my schedule.
Still about
Like,
an 8 hour day though. 8 hours sleep, which is healthy.
yeah, but
But yeah, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. is not a great
it's
time to
yeah,
be up 8 hours.
yeah, yeah. But I've been getting better. I'm getting sleep this time around. And as I grow on my brand, I'm learning to take care of myself too, mentally and physically. Um, and I'm really excited for 2026, honestly. I feel it's gonna be a really good year. I'm very optimistic. I'm very excited. Um, 2025 has really taught me one, got me really out of my comfort zone. Started my own podcast for once. Not just starting one, but starting two podcasts. One live stream, this one. Um, Two, I've been networking a lot more and been building more connections and building more friendships and potential partnerships. I was able to travel for my first time by myself this
Nice.
year.
Where did you go?
Uh, I went to see my best friend in Indianapolis.
Cool. I've never been.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I've
It's
never
really
been.
beautiful. It's really beautiful from the parts I saw.
I bet you it
Uh,
is, and I also bet I wouldn't pinpoint it on a map correct. I have
Hey,
geography.
yeah, well, it happens. And I'm really excited to do more traveling by myself. Of course, I was nervous doing it by myself because I'm so used to being with family.
Yeah,
But
it's a
I
safety
so
net.
yeah, but as soon as I went, I felt comfortable so freaking quickly. I'm just like, dude, this is fun. I'm like, how am I comfortable so fast? This is my first time,
Yeah.
especially on the plane by myself. And
Once
I was like,
once you get
what?
to the airport and you're at the gate, it's smooth
Yeah,
sailing there. But I don't know.
yeah.
You might live close to an airport. I have to
I
usually
don't.
drive into like Boston, which is awful.
I'm like 30 minutes from the airport.
Oh,
I
that's
think
not bad at all.
30, 35 minutes, depending on traffic.
Oh, that's not bad. I would kill for
Yeah.
that. Although there is a really small one that's maybe that length of a drive, which is I've gone a few times, which I do like that one. But it has three gates, so it doesn't go far.
Yeah, but I was like, but luckily I knew how the airport works because my first plane ride was 5 years ago when we went to Houston, Texas. So I
Yep.
already knew how to navigate the whole thing.
No, that you're right. That's a good point because I never thought about like if I had not flown with my parents as a kid and I went to an airport by myself as an adult, that would be a nightmare.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know to get there so early and like
Oh,
the procedure that's just been like drilled into us of
oh
like,
yeah.
if
Oh
you,
yeah.
it's wow, yeah, that
And
is.
dude, and I had a very early flight. My flight was at 5:45 in the morning.
Oh yeah, so you got to get there at like 3:45.
Oh yeah. So I legit stayed up just to stay awake. I probably sleep on the plane. I didn't sleep on the plane. I was too excited. Uh, and then so left here from here I had a layover in in Houston, Texas, and it was like 3 hour layover or so, or two. It was a couple hour layover. I walked around the Houston, Texas airport because that sucker was huge. It was a massive mall. So luckily I had time to go from the drop off terminal to the out to I had to walk a long distance to my next terminal. I was like, but luckily we got there on time. I had plenty of time because I had like 2 hour layover, so
Yeah.
I walked around the airport just to be nosy, and I was like I made sure I found my terminal before I walked around, just so I know where to go. Um, dude, and then got to the Indianapolis airport, and then that airport is freaking huge. But I love how the Indianapolis airport is divided and is actually very easy to navigate because literally in the center they have a food market.
Oh, and
Food,
then it all like springs out from it.
yeah, I was like
Yeah.
literally because I came in to my as a drop off, and I just walked straight to the baggage claim. In the center is a full-fledged food market where you can go a huge circle where you can go around like to any food place. So, like I think it's like a Chick-fil-A, a, a buffet. I think that was there. Like literally anything there. And then on the other side is like the other terminals. So it's like the right side's like A to D terminals, and then the left side is like E to whatever or however the letters are. I was like, whoever built this was actually very smart and is actually very easy to navigate. And dude, Indianapolis is such an adventure. I got to meet my best friend for the first time. We've known each other for a couple of years. We met on TikTok, and and dude, that was so much fun. And I look forward to traveling alone again. And I'm hoping to have my first bus ride in 2026.
Cool.
to,
That's
to go see
awesome.
my to go see some my other friend who's in Ohio.
Yeah. I hope it
So
goes
that's
well for you.
so that's gonna be fun. And I've always wanted to ride a Greyhound bus. I think I rode one when I was a kid,
Okay.
but I think I rode it from a church, not from directly from a station.
So yeah, it goes a little different.
Yeah. I was like, you just this time I'm actually going directly to a station, not from a church, not being picked up from a church. But yeah, it's like, dude, and like ever since it's like 2025 really changed me in a good way and gave me the spark of just to get out of my comfort zone. And then traveling with my family, my sisters, I went on a we went to a safari park where we fed animals. That was freaking terrifying because my sister got bit by an ostrich.
My God.
It was freaking insane.
Is she
And
okay?
these Yeah, she's fine. She was laughing. She said, "Oh my God, what the hell?"
That
But
sounds scary.
these ostriches are mean. Like, good Lord.
Oh my gosh.
And then there was a huge bison. I think it was a bison. It was a huge animal. Had a huge horns that was coming to the truck, and it was like, "Oh no, roll the window up because we're not going to get hit with them gigantic horns."
Oh my gosh.
It's like, whoa, no. It's like, no. we were trying to feed the beautiful llamas. I mean, and the baby deers. I'm like, we ain't trying to get you. You're one. You have huge horns. You finna scratch up the hell out this truck, and you could potentially damage us
Yeah.
physically. I'm like, we're not gonna. No, no. So yeah, and then went to a zoo where it had a zip line that pulls you up into the sky and brings you down so freaking fast. That was such an adrenaline rush. And if I could say what 2025 taught me was, dude, have fun. I was like,
Yes, you can.
legit, have fun the best way you can. Get out there, go on an adventure. Especially as a creative, we do a lot of stuff. We do a lot of stuff anyway from working. We work a lot. I guess we're workaholics because we create a lot of stuff we want to put out. And I was like, but we also need to rest our mental and physical bodies because it's a draining process
Yeah.
from the writing to the budgeting to the business aspect to the marketing to everything that we do. We have to learn how to get that balance and just um, find a outlet just to release our energy. That's not work. You know what I mean? And dude, when I tell you that cleared my head so freaking good. I was able to sleep so good and get that energy, excuse me, and gain my energy back and just release, relax and relate.
Yeah.
Um, do you have like any hobbies that you kind of like get into that's outside of your common just give your brain a rest or like give your body a rest from working so much?
I mean, I do read and watch movies a lot, but they're still so tied into, the work side of things that it's not like,
True.
I mean, I can definitely just sit there mindlessly and enjoy it and be like, there's no value in this movie and I'm just entertained and I'm not thinking about like, oh, what shot was this in or this or that.
Oh yeah.
But I also, for the most part, I try not to do more than an 8-hour day. If I have to because I'm on like a film set or something, that's one thing, but that's because I'm like out and it's abnormal. But most of my days are spent like at home doing the writing or the planning or the whatever. And I realized I shouldn't spend more than 8 hours for me because it's just probably not very good work unless I have a deadline that had to get something done. But I don't remember that
Mm,
happening recently.
right.
Uh, because I just don't want to be sloppy. Because after 8 hours, you do get sloppy. Now, I might not do my 8 hours from like
Good point.
8 a.m. to 4 p.m. like straight through. I might be like, oh, I took like a 2 hour lunch and I like relaxed for a little bit and then I got back into it and then I walked the dog for an hour and then I came back. So, like, it might be like, okay, I started at 9 and by like 6 or 7, I'm done. But
Mm,
so that feels like more than 8 hours, but not really. Um, I think that, I spend a lot of time with my girlfriend and the dog and stuff like that. So I think that's my biggest probably escape from the movie comic writing world because it is such a hobby of mine that even when I'm not doing it, I'm engaged in it.
yeah, so yeah, that's me. That's me all the way too with movies. But a lot of times when I watch movies, I still get inspired and intend to write a whole story in my head while I watch the
Yeah, I
movie.
get that. It is very
uh,
easy to get distracted by it, and or if you're watching something that's similar to something you're working on. That's why I was like, well, I guess it still feels like it's a little tied into all that. But
oh yeah, especially writing my first superhero comic that's not for me, but so for someone else. I can't legally talk about it just yet. Until she gives me the okay, and she probably have to be here with me, and we promote it together because it's out. Because I'm working with her. It's her universe I'm writing for.
that's awesome.
Uh, Um, but it's very challenging because it's superheroes. I don't know how to write superheroes yet. But issue one is completely done. It's already completely written.
Nice.
Artwork's being made. The cover is officially done. Uh, I can't, like I said, I can't go into too much detail about it yet. I have to wait for her.
Yeah.
Uh, but she already gave me the okay to write issue 2 and 3, which I'm working on those. And so so I legit go back watching Marvel, like some DC, like, because she gives me like references of what kind of story she wants and how her character, she wants her characters to be.
Yeah.
And so I go watch those certain movies, like shows that she like inspired by. And
Hmm.
then I also watch others like to give a pitch to show her like you can also mix it with this one to do this, yada yada yada.
That's
And
awesome.
so far she actually loved every idea that I made.
That's
So
great.
that's freaking awesome. I mean, even though and I changed it like 1,000 times because I read like multiple drafts. I didn't send her any of them because I hated them.
Yeah.
Like
People will
yeah,
be like,
no,
"Oh, this is your third draft," and I'm like, "Ah, it's only the one I call the third draft, but
yeah,
not really."
yeah. I legit told her I was like I have something. I've got multiple ideas of drafts that I wrote, but I purposely didn't send them to you because I want to see the best one. I think that would actually be a really continuation of your story.
Yeah.
And I
I
was
think
like,
if I had to write something for somebody else, I would probably be doing a couple of drafts just for myself,
yeah,
just so I make sure it's not like embarrassing to like send it off
yeah,
and then be like, "Hmm." And then be like, "Oh, it's a first draft," and be like, "Well, maybe send me a third."
yeah.
But yeah, I would be doing the same. I would have a hard time just sending something off and being like, "All right, good luck."
Yeah, so that's why I wrote like an outline Bible, like to show the gist of what I'm thinking about doing, and she approved it, and out of her what she call it, her flair to it. I
Okay,
was like,
yeah. Yeah, so she made a couple adjustments to make it
yeah,
like more in her
yeah,
voice or whatever, or to her
exactly,
liking.
yeah,
You're like,
because we
oh,
write it
that's
together. Yeah, 'cause we
yeah.
write it together, because I'm teaching her how to write comic scripts.
Okay.
So yeah, we write it together, and it's to this. I never thought I would want to write for somebody else, but sh- it was funny how me and her met and how we got to working together. I followed her for a couple of years. I've been a fan of her for years, and we met officially on Instagram. And I shared a post of hers on my story. She saw it, liked it, and everything. And then I shared another post and actually tagged her. I didn't think of anything of it, and she actually responded to me in the messenger, in the
Cool.
messenger of Instagram. The DM Instagram. Jesus Christ, I can't speak English. Um, and I just asked the question. I'm like, hey, I write characters in my comics based on people that inspired me. Would you perhaps be okay with me basing character off you in my stories? I was like, I didn't think she'll see it. I was like, I just brushed it off. Like, she's very busy. She's not gonna see it. A couple hours later, I get an Instagram notification. It says yada 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 response to you. I'm like, I sent you a message. like, she, she freaking saw it and responded back. Like, what the heck?
That's awesome.
And she asked me saying, do you write or do you like write your stories or do you draw them? I say I write my stories and have artists that draw for me. And she sends me a voice message saying that she's been trying to get into comic world since like 2018. And she asked me, and then she just flat out asked me for my number because she wanted to talk about getting into the comic world. I was like, sure. I was not expecting that. And then since then, we had great meetings about what she wanted. And dude, we blast off. We got the first issue done. And I'm working on issue 2 and 3, and the art is being made. And she is a great collaborator. She is so very easy to work with. She's so very easy to talk to. And dude, I don't I don't, and I was like, I don't even know if I'm going to write for anybody else, but I'm having fun writing for her.
Well, that's great. That's something.
And then,
How
right,
how many pages are your comics?
depends on the story. Um, because Arcfire issue 1's like third, no, 20 something, 25.
Okay.
I think issue two is like actually issue two is like 20 something as well. I kind of cut some pages off because I'm leaving some of those pages for issue three.
Okay.
Uh, Skin Shifter, which the original version was 30 pages,
Okay.
but I'm rebooting it. As I said, now it's going to be a graphic novel
Okay.
where
Yeah.
where volume one is the first three issues, which would be about 90 or so pages,
Yeah. That's
and
awesome.
then Halophane about 20 pages, 22 pages. So it really depends on the story and how much I want to tell in one issue, and not reveal too much at one time. Um, but I'm kind of slowly kind of transitioning to making graphic novels. One because I've seen people love graphic novels lately, and I feel like, and I really, right, and I really love the seeing people's trade backs and hardcovers, and I was like, huh. And so I'm like, I'm slowly transitioning to graphic novels. So I'm starting with Skin Shifter. That's the first graphic novel, and I'm also rebooting another comic I call Havoc. I took the original version down because I'm revamping that one as well. I'm rebooting that one. That one's about 50 some pages
Okay.
because Havoc is an anthology. So each Havoc book is going to be a different story. So yeah, so it varies. Yeah, it varies. Nice. Zombie Saga Terminus, Corvic City. I think I'm gonna have that one into a graphic novel because I already have an ending in mind for it. Because I'm thinking where it's like three issues each volume. So volume one is one, two, and three. About I guess about 90 to 100 some pages. Um, and then because I think I'm gonna have the full story, like three volumes, three graphic novels to tell the full story instead of just having to print so many single issues.
Yeah.
Uh, because I think that would I think that would be easier to do. Well, not easier, but I think it'd be oh,
Well, like
not
we
sure.
went the graphic novel route because I didn't want to run 5 Kickstarter campaigns.
That's what yeah, that's what I'm going with because I don't want to run so many
Yeah. Like
Kickstarters.
somebody was like, you probably would do better by doing 5 because each one will probably gain you more traction and people will go back and buy the old issues. But I
This
just was
one.
like, that for me is 6 months of my life, like focused on
Yeah,
just, that. And even if I like, even if I set the goal at like $500 for each issue, you still have to at least make sure you get that $500. I didn't want to like, I pestered a lot of my friends about it, but it's like, hey, if you can't afford it, that's fine. But if you can, or whatever, that'd be great. And I didn't want to pester them like 5 times throughout the year. Hey, the next issue's coming out. Can I get like 4 more bucks from you? Hey, the
right,
next issue's out. Can I get 5 bucks from you and I'll send
right.
you a trading card too?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
it's mentally draining. Like I don't want like 500 Kickstarters in one one year.
yeah, and like I have
Uh,
2 projects I'm working on right now, and I have to really seriously figure out how I'm going to finance them for this upcoming year. And it's a situation where it's like I might have to do that idea of like 5 Kickstarters for the 5 issues, but I have like 2 different comics that I'm trying to do that with. So that's like 10
yeah.
Kickstarters. And I'm like,
Whew.
but now I'm even starting to think like, well, maybe I make issues like 1 and 2 that's just extra sized issues. So we're only doing like 4 of the Kickstarters, but it's something that I need to sit down and figure out. Yeah, both of those projects probably have about 10 pages drawn to them so far. And it's like, well, we were past the point of no return. And I
Oh yeah,
thought this through a little bit earlier. But,
yeah,
you know,
yeah, man. Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's still fun creating my own thing. and just being able to storytell my own way.
Yeah, it's worth the time.
Man, it's definitely worth it. Especially with everything going on with Hollywood. Like I got tired with the rehashes. It's like I just want to bring originality back and more and bring creativity back. I want to get people reading. I want to get kids reading. I want to get adults reading and just inspire them to explore their imagination and just accept the world for a bit. Speaking of Hollywood, since you're here, did you hear about the Warner Brothers and Paramount and Netflix thing?
Yeah, I've been following it, and
Yeah, what's your thoughts to this? Because this is getting crazy, especially with Paramount trying to do a hostile takeover bid. Like, what in the world? Like, this is
yeah,
crazy.
it I don't follow a lot of the business stuff, and I don't care too much about some of the business stuff because it's like I just have to try to focus on me. Because so
Yeah,
much of that won't affect me. But it is annoying how many times Warner Brothers is bought and sold, and how a lot of the movie industry just seems like bargaining chips for rich guys to get some money and then get out of debt and just, selling it. I believe I've heard Paramount was trying to team up with the government of Saudi Arabia, which is not, in my
that's not
opinion, a very
good at all.
virtuous sort of, yeah. So that really concerns me because I just have a hard time believing that there's certain types of stories that they would allow to continue, like in the
Uh,
LGBTQIA communities, I maybe I'm
yeah.
ignorant for thinking that, but
No,
some stuff
you're
I've
right
seen,
though. You're right
that
though.
scares me. The thing that people talk about with Netflix buying them is, oh, movie theaters are going to go away. And they're not if we go to the movies.
Yeah, they somewhat that Netflix destroyed. I was like, no, they did not. I was like, they did not destroy the movies. It's the pricing of the movie theater that destroyed the movies mostly.
I think like, I live in a small town, and there's two, used to be three or four, but there's still two small town movie theaters near me. And I mean, if you go to a matinee, it's probably $7. You go not to a matinee, maybe it's $10. I don't think that that's that bad. And I think most of the country lives in small towns where they probably aren't driving into the big city to go to an AMC. Now, I went to an AMC 2 days ago to see the Kill Bill Whole Bloody Affair. And that was a terrible experience because there was literally 30 minutes of previews beforehand.
Yeah,
So this movie that starts at
yeah,
12, which was 4.5 hours long, didn't start till 12:30. And that's annoying because, like, as somebody who doesn't go to an AMC and know, like, get there 30 minutes late, like, I feel like I wasted an extra 45 minutes of my day by getting there 15 minutes early and then sitting through all of that when I could have gotten there at least 30 minutes later. So I think that there's certain things like that that the movie theaters do, and like, yeah, AMC is pricey, but they also do have things like that membership. So like, if you are like a movie fanatic, that's actually like a heck of a deal from what I can tell.
yeah. I went to my first AMC in Indianapolis in July when I went to see Superman, and
What
I
did you
actually
see?
saw it was actually like the previews too freaking long. But I actually did sign up for a membership because it actually really got a really good
It's a
membership.
good deal
Uh,
if you've got one near you and you like going to the movies. It's a good deal from what I've
yeah, it
seen.
is. I'm like, there's no AMC here in my town. Uh, I'm in Tennessee, but I think there's an AMC in like the other parts of Tennessee, but not here in Memphis. Because Malco is here in Memphis. By my house, there's a Hollywood cinema and a stage cinema. I go to both. Hollywood cinema is cheaper than stage. Hollywood cinema, I go with my sister because that's what we're familiar with. My sister and my mom. I go to stage cinema if I'm with my friend because we like that's where we go. Cause so I go to both. I experience both to see how pricing is on both. And I'm just like, So yeah, Hollywood cinema is definitely cheaper than state cinema, and but state cinema stays getting packed, which is very interesting. But I think a lot of people, I think state cinema is more known and than Hollywood cinema is. So it's quite interesting. But then again, state cinema does have a lot more stuff in their cinema because they have an arcade than Hollywood cinema.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that's why they stay more packed, and that's why they're a little bit more pricier because they had to pay for all that stuff,
Yeah. Interesting.
which I don't mind because the stuff is actually pretty awesome.
I bet.
So I would happily pay that money to go see a movie there.
Yeah. I think that's the main thing is that my recommendation to people who don't want movie theaters to close down is like, hey, if you're interested in a movie, go to a theater to see it. Like, I
Yeah,
understand you might not be able to drive an hour. I understand maybe you've got young kids and you can't right now, but I feel like it's this message of like, if you think that movie theaters are important, then you need to make the effort to go see stuff there. Like I asked one of my friends this weekend when he asked me the same question. I said, what was the last movie you saw in a theater?" And I don't remember what he said, but it was something from like a year or two ago. Now he's got young kids, but we also hang out as the guys like once a month, and we're always out getting a drink or dinner,
heck
and
yeah,
we could just as easily go to a movie as well, you
heck
know.
yeah,
So it's not, I think people, and then people also be like, well, it's so expensive, but it's like, well, what's cheaper? Because everything's expensive now, but it's not like you're going to a concert or a sporting event cheaper. A night at the bar, I can't imagine it's going to be cheaper unless you have like such great restraint. You go in for one drink and get out.
yeah,
A meal out isn't cheaper. So it still is like the cheapest thing you can do to like get out of the house and, spread your wings.
yeah,
But, and I also think like as much as we blame the movie theater, my bad experiences, honestly, in movie theaters the past few years have been because of the people, and it has nothing to do with the business. I think there's
yeah.
too many people
Uh,
that go there now, and they treat it like they would treat their living room, where they have no consideration for others. I mean, there's people who, they can't even have the courtesy to dim the screen on their phone for when they're checking and texting. Like, I don't even do that, and I still walk in and I dim my screen just in case if I do need to like look at something real quick, it's not a flashlight.
exactly.
And I saw years back the movie about the band Queen. And I mean, there were this couple in there, and they were, they're boomer age, so it's not like it's just teenagers. That's what it was when I was like a kid growing up. It was like these
Mm.
rowdy teenagers who are just so irresponsible, but then they grow up, and now it's just like, no, everybody just thinks it's their home. So I don't know. I look out for me, and that's all I can really hope. I mean, the movie that I made this summer isn't something that would probably, honestly, I hate to say it, I don't imagine it will be in a movie theater. I mean, maybe I'll luck out, but it's not fantasy horror, sci-fi, IP. Um, and like I said with that David Lynch thing, all I care about is my day-to-day creativity. So
Mhm.
like I'd be more than happy to make a movie every year and feel like I don't care where it ends up as long as somebody can see it, whether it's a movie theater or there. Now if I ever made a, Galagoda or a Mystic movie, I would really hope that would be on screen because it would be a big spectacle.
Oh yeah, that'll be
Um,
awesome.
but I think that, like I said, if we go to the movies and these companies are like, "Hey, we are making money here," like capitalism is flawed, but I believe that in theory they would be like, "We're going to keep putting these movies in the theater." So, who knows?
Dude, dude, me and my sister kind of accidentally made it a tradition where this year we actually went to see a movie every month
Nice.
or every other month. November we actually got to see three movies in theaters.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, we um we saw dang, not my phone thinking. Sorry. Um, November we saw Predator Badlands,
That was pretty good.
Wicked for Good.
I haven't seen that yet.
That was a beautiful movie. Uh, what was it? Damn it! What was it? We just Zootopia 2. Jesus Christ! There you go. Zootopia 2. Man, when I tell you we had a freaking blast at the theater, man, it was so freaking awesome. That was the first time we were able to see multiple movies in 1 month in a while. And I'm hoping we get to go see Avatar, Fire and Ash. She hasn't seen the second movie, so I was like, I have. It's like, fuck. I was like, if we go see the second movie, I mean, it's the third movie, I would just explain to her how the second movie goes. I was like, it ain't the first time we went backwards on movies before, because
Yeah,
that's how we watch Harry Potter. We watched Harry Potter from the middle. We went like three, four, one, two, five, six, seven, eight.
that's funny to hear.
It's like, but we understood the plots though. That's the funny thing. We understood where everything was going. I was like, I can just explain to you how movie two goes before you see
Yeah,
it. So
Avatars. I'll see the third one in a theater because it's like, well, if I'm ever gonna see it, it's got to be in a theater. But I'm not the biggest fan of them per se, but there's something magical about what James Cameron does that I can't help but still be like, yeah, I'll still go check it out. And I'm going with a friend. We went to see the second one. I think we left the second one and we're like, not seeing the third one. But yep, sure enough, here we are. He's like, yeah, they're going to show a new trailer for the Odyssey. And I was like, yeah, they're going to show a trailer for Avengers Doomsday. So I think we're going just for the trailers, but
yeah,
around for the movie.
I was like, I'm a big fan of it. I think he could have been more creative if he did a new villain.
Yeah.
It's like learning he has the same villain for all five movies. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
It's
That if
like
that
you
plays
could.
out to be true, that
It's
would
like
be kind of
it's
rough.
like it's like from that, I love the visual effects and I love the story and I love the message too. That's the reason why I fell in love with Avatar because I love the message in it.
I like the
That's
environmentalism.
yeah,
I like that.
that's what I really like a lot about a lot of movies is with the message and and action and visualization of it.
Yeah. He
Um,
does a good job with the music and mixing it in.
yeah,
And not a lot. I don't think a lot of current filmmakers do a good job with the music, sadly, but he
you're
does
not
a
wrong.
really good job.
It's like you're not wrong. You're not wrong on that one.
It's weird. I
Um,
like listening to the Marvel soundtracks, like while I read the comic books, and
Interesting.
I
Okay.
am always amazed at how good some of the scores are and how you don't hear it in the movie because it's like just overpowered with like an explosion and
Uh,
noise and it's like weird. I don't know
I'm gonna
why.
try that. I actually never listened to the soundtracks.
Yeah, I like it. I think
I,
it's a lot
well,
of
I
fun.
listened to the James Gunn soundtrack of Guardians.
Well, it's funny. That's like the one that I like. I don't really read Guardians, but I probably wouldn't listen to that stuff for the
I mean, I
reading.
don't read Guardians either, but I listen to the movie soundtrack.
I
'Cause-
do have the soundtrack for those, and could just listen to them my day to day. Yeah,
oh yeah,
but
oh
yeah,
yeah.
having them on in the bed. Like I've read some Spider-Man comics that have been really great because like I'll turn the page right as like the music hits like a really big beat, and he'll swing in and kick Green Goblin
Ah,
or
hell
something.
yeah.
You're like, whoa,
Heck yeah.
that worked out really well.
Dude, that's freaking phenomenal. Man. Man, this has been awesome. I don't want to hold you too long.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
First, Merry Christmas and
Merry
Happy
Christmas,
Holidays.
Happy Holidays, all that.
Can you let us know where we can find you to follow you and on your socials so we keep up updates on you?
Yep, on TikTok, that would be the main one I'd recommend checking out if you've got it, just under Dave Schweitzer, author. And then over on Instagram, Threads, Facebook, might be Blue Sky also. Gala and the Mystics. That's the page for all things pertaining to the, March of the Mystics, Treasure of the Mystic Hearts, and anything with that world. I don't really have any pages for the other projects yet, but that's the one that I'd recommend there. And yeah, we'll have our second book out next year. The graphic novel, I don't know if it's going to ship and print before this year, but it will be like in January. Like we are in the stages of getting like, them paying them and all that. So there's that. You could get the novel anywhere. If you wanted to check out, I do have like a Shopify at Gala. Hold on, what is it? Hold on one second. Galamystics.com. And But yeah, you could always just search my name, Dave Schweitzer. I assume something will come up. There, I don't know.
And you can find me, Kevin Davis, at I am Kevin Davis Official on Instagram, Kevysie Studios on TikTok, Facebook, I am Kevin Davis CEO. This has been the new Kevysie Fate Podcast episode with Dave Schweitzer. I got it right! Yay!
You nailed it.
But thank you for coming on, man.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for having. I hope you had a blast.
Oh,
And
great. I really appreciate it. Always enjoy talking with you.
man, it's such a blast talking to you. And guys, if you ever watch this, please subscribe, like, and comment, and go check out our stuff. Everything will be linked in the description. And we'll see you next time on Kevysie Fate. And also go follow Kevysie Network on Instagram as well, and on the Madness Entertainment Group. This has been Kevysie Fate, and we'll catch you guys later.